The starship, christened Astral Voyager, drifted through the void, its fusion engines sputtering on the edge of collapse. Captain James Harris grasped the arms of his command chair, his eyes fixed on the viewscreen as the swirling vortex of a black hole loomed before them. "We're not going to make it, Captain," warned his first officer, Rachel Patel, her dark hair tied back in a tight ponytail. "Our velocity is too high, and the gravitational pull is intensifying by the minute." Harris's gaze flicked to the navigation display, where the ship's trajectory was plotted in a bright, pulsing line. He knew they had to act, and fast. "Rachel, can you plot a course correction?" Patel's fingers flew across her console, but her eyes never left the viewscreen. "It's not possible, Captain. The gravity well is too strong. We'll be torn apart if we try to alter course now." In the silence that followed, the ship shuddered, its hull creaking under the strain. Harris felt the weight of his responsibility settle upon him, the lives of his crew hanging in the balance. He had to make a decision, and he had to make it now. He turned to his chief engineer, a gruff, no-nonsense man named Jack Taylor. "Jack, can you give me more power to the engines? We need to try and break free of this gravity well." Taylor's face was set in a deep scowl, his eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. "I've been pushing the engines to their limits, Captain. If I give you more power, it'll be at the risk of a catastrophic failure." Harris knew Taylor was right, but he had no choice. "Do it, Jack. We have to try." The engines surged, the ship's systems groaning under the increased strain. The Astral Voyager shuddered, its hull plates screaming in protest as it struggled to escape the black hole's grasp. On the viewscreen, the swirling vortex of colors began to blur, the ship's sensors overwhelmed by the intense gravitational forces. Harris felt his stomach drop as the ship was pulled closer, the event horizon looming like a cosmic abyss. Suddenly, the ship lurched, throwing Harris against his restraints. The engines died, plunging the bridge into an eerie silence. The viewscreen flickered, and for a heart-stopping moment, Harris thought they had been pulled into the black hole. But as the silence stretched out, he realized they had, against all odds, broken free of the gravity well. The Astral Voyager drifted, its systems dark, its crew stunned into silence. Harris's heart still raced from the close call, his mind reeling from the implications. They had cheated fate, but at what cost? "Report," he called out, his voice low and even. Patel's fingers flew across her console, her eyes scanning the data streaming in. "Captain, we've got unusual readings coming in. Our position, velocity, and acceleration are all off the charts." Taylor, still shaken, rubbed his eyes. "What do you mean, Rachel?" "We're not exactly in a position to argue with physics." Patel's brow furrowed. "That's just it, Jack. We are arguing with physics. Our sensors say we're experiencing time dilation, but it's not following any known pattern." Harris's gut told him something was very wrong. "Get me a star chart, Rachel. I want to know where we are." The viewscreen flickered back to life, displaying a star field unlike any Harris had ever seen. Colors swirled, distorted, and seemed to shift of their own accord. "What in the—" Harris trailed off, his mind struggling to comprehend the impossible. They had emerged from the black hole, but into what? "Captain, I'm reading energy signatures unlike anything I've seen," Patel said, her voice laced with a mix of awe and trepidation. "We're not alone out here." A shiver ran down Harris's spine as he realized the true extent of their situation. They had not escaped the black hole. They had entered something far more sinister. The view screen flashed, and a figure materialized before them, its presence seeming to fill the bridge. Harris's crew froze, unsure of how to react. The being was unlike anything they had ever seen, its body a shifting kaleidoscope of colors, its form blurring and shifting as they watched. "Greetings, travelers," it said, its voice like a gentle breeze in their minds. "I am the guardian of the Nexus. You have entered this realm uninvited, yet you have also demonstrated a certain ingenuity." Harris found his voice, his words measured. "We mean no harm. We stumbled into this Nexus through a black hole." The Guardian's form shifted, its colors pulsing. You have entered a realm beyond your understanding, a realm where the fabric of space-time is woven and unwoven. You have two options. You may attempt to navigate the currents and eddies of the Nexus, or you may accept my guidance. Taylor spoke up, his skepticism evident. What's the catch, Guardian? There's always a catch. The Guardian's form stabilized, its colors solidifying into a being with an androgynous face and piercing green eyes. The catch, Jack Taylor, is that my guidance comes at a price. Your memories, your very sense of self will be altered. You will emerge from this realm changed, forever bound to the Nexus. Harris felt the weight of the Guardian's words. They had stumbled into a realm beyond human comprehension, and now they had to make a choice. Trust the Guardian or navigate the treacherous currents of the Nexus on their own. The bridge fell silent, the crew weighing their options. Harris knew they had to make a decision, and quickly. The Nexus was unpredictable, and they couldn't afford to linger. Captain, I think we have to take the Guardian's offer, Patel said, her voice laced with a mix of uncertainty and urgency. We can't navigate this realm on our own. We'll get lost, or worse, destroyed. Taylor countered, his voice firm. I don't trust this Guardian. What if this is some kind of trap? What if it's manipulating us for its own purposes? Harris rubbed his chin, considering their options. He glanced at the Guardian, whose expression remained enigmatic. We don't have a choice, crew. We have to trust the Guardian. We'll take its guidance. The Guardian's form shifted, its colors pulsing in a rhythmic pattern. Very well, Captain. I will guide you through the Nexus. But be warned, the journey will be transformative. Your memories, your sense of self will be altered. You will emerge from this realm changed, forever bound to the Nexus. As the Guardian spoke, the bridge began to blur, the stars outside dissolving into a kaleidoscope of colors. Harris felt his grip on reality begin to slip, his mind reeling from the implications. What's happening? He asked, his voice laced with a growing sense of unease. The Guardian's voice whispered in his mind. The Nexus is reconfiguring your perception, Captain. You are being rewired. Your journey through the Nexus has begun. The colors swirled, coalescing into a tunnel of light that seemed to pull them forward, inexorably, into the heart of the Nexus.